Success shouldn't feel this exhausting. If you're winning on paper, but burning out behind the scenes, you aren't failing. You're stuck in a psychological bottleneck called a hurdle of stop. I've been there. On the outside, things look great, but I was secretly burning out, convinced I was just lucky and waiting to be exposed as a fraud. I realized I didn't have a business problem. I had a mindset block. Whether it's imposter syndrome, perfectionism, or fear or failure, these aren't just feelings. They are growth bottlenecks. Identify your specific hurdle and get one immediate action step to regain your momentum today. Go to tuepodcast.net/quiz. That's tuepodcast.net/quiz to take the 3-minute assessment and get your report now. Imposter syndrome is actually something that we could look forward to. It's something that we can use as a guide to know if we are feeling imposter syndrome. That means we're heading in the right direction. Use it as a guide, as a tool. Use something that seems so negative at first and do something that's positive. Turn it into something you can use to point you in the direction that you're actually supposed to go. If you start feeling imposter syndrome, then you are going the right way. If you're not feeling imposter syndrome, then you're probably not heading in the right direction. You have to feel at least a little bit of it to know that you're going the right way. The hurdles aren't in the way, but the hurdles are the way. Are you ready to unlock your entrepreneur potential? Are you ready to break free from all the barriers holding you back? Then you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Undiscovered Entrepreneur, your first step in getting across the start line. Let's get across that start line together, right here, right now, on the Undiscovered Entrepreneur. All right, hello, Scoob believers, and welcome to the Undiscovered Entrepreneur with me, Scoob. Today we're actually doing something a little bit different. I'm doing one of my first solo episodes for this year. I plan on doing a couple. This is actually going to be one of 3. The things we're going to be talking about in these next 3 episodes that I'm putting out are imposter syndrome, perfectionism, and fear of failure, or fear in general at that particular point. So it's really important to understand that these are the things that I've been working on, studying, and putting together. Just everybody that I've talked to over the last 4 years have compiled everything into what I'm going to be talking about over the next 3 episodes. So keep that in mind as we go along here, because you are going to fit in one of these episodes. If you don't fit in the one that I'm going to be talking about now, wait till the next one, or wait for all 3 of them to come out and then find the one that you want to listen to. So it critiques to what you're looking for and what you're experiencing in the 4 hurdles of stop. So what we're going to do here is the very first episode we're going to talk about today is imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome hits a lot of us. And the real reason why I'm starting this one first is because it's the one that kind of affected me the most. I think if you've heard of the last couple episodes when I start talking about myself a little bit, which I do a little bit, is how imposter syndrome stopped me from doing a lot of things that I wanted to do in my life. So let's concentrate on that one first. So the first thing we're going to talk about here is crediting your work, your hard work, and your accomplishments to external forces. Crediting it to luck, crediting it to being in the right place at the right time, instead of crediting it to your experience, instead of crediting it to the work that you've done. We've all done this at one point or another, especially if we didn't really think about what we're doing. Usually it's like a gut reaction for me when I get like some kind of accolade. Oh, I was in the right place at the right time. It was okay. I was lucky. I just got lucky at that one point. But we got to realize that it's not luck. We kind of create our own luck when it comes to something like this. We create our own world around us when we do things. When we work in our zone of genius, we're always looking out for the things that will be there for us. It's really is a gut reaction. It's a snap decision whether you are crediting it to yourself or crediting it to luck. Let's not deflect those things. So instead of going through that first reaction of crediting it to luck, crediting it to outside forces, stop for a second and think. You will feel when you're going to feel when you do that. You will feel you're about to credit it to luck, or you're about to credit it to external factors, timing, or other reasons like that. Stop and realize that you created your situation. Take responsibility. And sometimes taking responsibility is actually a good thing. And just say to yourself, yeah, I did this. I caused this. And whatever it is, accept it. Accept it in your heart and understand that this is what you are meant to do. And here's another one that kind of sneaks up on you. This definitely would sneak up on me. And it's actually kind of happening to me right now because I've taken on a lot of responsibilities. And that's just plain overworking to prove yourself to other people that you have the capability of being who you are. Working as hard as you can, even outside your limits sometimes, just to prove that you are who you say you are. Now, the problem with this particular one is you will experience burnout quite quickly, and you're saying yes to everything just to prove to whoever you're saying yes to that you can do this, that you are capable of doing these things. But what we have to realize is if we're saying yes to something, what are we saying no to? A lot of times we'll say, yes, we'll take this job, but then it's going to take away from time with your family. Or it's going to take away time from your, what I call the 20%, your time to be creative. I myself have really bitten into a lot of my creative time to do other jobs, to prove to other people I can do what I'm doing. And I think that's one of the major parts of my imposter syndrome that I do, is just working so hard to prove I could be who I really say I am. So keep in mind that whatever you're saying yes to, there's a no. But remember, there's an opposite of that too. Whatever you're saying no to, what are you saying yes to? If it's something that comes across that's not in your zone of genius and you really feel like it's just extra work, instead of just saying yes to it, just say, no, thank you. I have other things that are more important. I have other things that I'm working in my zone of genius with. Heck, they'll probably even ask you, what is the zone of genius? And you could tell them. So don't overwork yourself to burnout just to prove, not just to other people, but to yourself that you are capable of doing what you say you're doing and letting that imposter syndrome take over. Feeling unworthy. This is a big one too. And I think this is probably the most common one that I come across in all the entrepreneurs that I've interviewed over the last 4 years. They get stuck in the who am I? Who am I to do this? Am I worthy enough to do this? Am I worthy of the praise that I'm getting? Because sometimes it could be overwhelming, especially if you suffer from a really heavy case of imposter syndrome. There's just too much coming at you when it comes to praise. I mean, you do a lot of stuff, right? We all work really hard in our businesses to do what we need to do, to accomplish what we need to accomplish. And sometimes it could be overwhelming when you have a lot of people saying, I really love what you're doing. And then you start thinking to yourself, are they just saying that to be nice? Do they really mean it? You get a lot of that from family. If you ask for an approval from a family member or a loved one or something like that, and they say, yeah, that's great. Are they saying yes because it's great? Or are they saying yes because they're trying to be nice to you and encourage you? But a lot of times all you want to hear, which is really strange, but all you want to hear is no, but I would make this change. Sometimes, especially for me, I get a little bit weirded out when I hear somebody say, yes, this is great, do it just like that. And I'm like, no, that's not what I want to hear. I want to hear how it's bad so I could change it. But ultimately, when you hear these things and you start feeling unworthy of the work that you're doing, it could be very overwhelming. So instead of feeling overwhelmed or unworthy of these things, in the back of your head, you have to understand that we work hard as entrepreneurs and doing what we do to be able to accomplish what we're going to accomplish. And we do deserve these things. We do deserve the accolades. We do deserve the praise and the affection of people when we do something and are successful at it, because we worked hard for it. Don't shy back from from praise. Just accept it. If you really have to, and you know you're feeling that way, just give a thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Just some positive words to take in those positive things. Don't deflect them. Sometimes people are saying that for a reason. Take the greatness that you're given and use it for positive. You'll start seeing a change in how you react to these things and understand that you are worthy. You are worthy of these things. All right, so what do we do when we actually start feeling imposter syndrome sneaking up on it? You feel it. You will kind of sweat under the arms a little bit. Your heart might start pumping a little bit more. You know what imposter syndrome feels like. I know I do. Imposter syndrome is actually something that we could look forward to. It's something that we can use as a guide to know if we are feeling imposter syndrome. That means we're heading in the right direction. Use it as a guide, as a tool. Use something that seems so negative at first into something that's positive. Turn it into something you can use to point you in the direction that you're actually supposed to go. If you start feeling imposter syndrome, then you are going the right way. If you're not feeling imposter syndrome, then you're probably not heading in the right direction. You have to feel at least a little bit of it to know that you're going the right way. You get a lot of that from speakers too. A lot of really, really high-paid speakers will tell us all the time that they feel imposter syndrome when they get up on that stage. Or while they're even up on the stage, they're feeling imposter syndrome. But that's actually a good thing because they're up there actually doing it and using imposter syndrome as a guide to know they're in the right spot. They're right where they need to be. I've tried so hard to start so many businesses before my podcast and stopped dead in my tracks because I didn't feel I was worthy or I wasn't smart enough until I started working with y'all. And still I started working with my Scoop believers. So this is my gift back to all my Scoop believers that believed in me up until this point and beyond. I have a quiz that I've put together just for my Scoop believers to see which one of the 4 hurdles of stop affects you the most. Because sometimes we can have multiple hurdles that we need to go over, but we need to take control of the one that affects us the most. So if you go to tuepodcast.net/quiz, I have a quiz there for you to find which one of the hurdles of stop is affecting you the most. That way you have a guide to know where to start. A lot of times finding out how we start and where we start can be just as important as the question itself. Find out what your biggest hurdle is and a guide of how to overcome that hurdle. Don't let imposter syndrome stop you from getting across the start line in your entrepreneur adventure. Instead, use it as a guide. Use it as something positive that will lead you in the direction. Because we got to remember that the hurdles aren't in the way, but the hurdles are the way. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for this episode. Subscribe to this channel if you want to hear the other hurdles of stop that we're going to go over the next couple of episodes. All right, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye. And there you have it, future entrepreneurs. We've taken a vital step on the journey across the start line. Remember, every great business begins with a single idea and the courage to pursue it. And you've already showed that courage just by being here today. As we wrap up this episode of the Undiscovered Entrepreneur Get Across the Start Line, I want you to reflect on the path. You have to recognize the 4 hurdles of stop. Is it imposter syndrome holding you back? Is it perfectionism, failure, or fear? Identifying which one affects you the most is the key to unlocking your momentum. But here's the real secret. The hurdles are not in the way, they are the way. Every time you clear one, you're building the exact strength you need for your journey ahead. Until our next episode, keep pushing, keep dreaming, and keep jumping over those hurdles. This is Scoob, your guide across the start line. Remember, your future is waiting. I can, I am, I will, and I'm doing it today. Hello, Scoob believers. Let me ask you a real quick question. How many cups of coffee have you had today? 3, 5, 7? And let me guess, you've got a Red Bull in the other hand just in case, right? Yeah, I see you. Now, here's the truth bomb nobody wants to hear. You're not building a business. You're building a caffeine dependency. Listen, I get it. When you're grinding 12, 14, 16-hour days, you're building something from nothing. When you've got payroll to meet, investors to impress, and visions that won't wait. You need fuel. But what if I told you that the fuel that you're using is actually slowing you down? What if the very thing that you think is keeping you sharp is actually making you dull? Enter Rise Coffee. This isn't your grandma's mushroom tea. This isn't some hippie wellness trend. This is science meets performance. And here's what makes Rise different. Less than half the caffeine of a regular cup of coffee. But here's the kicker. You won't miss it. 6 organic powerhouse mushrooms, including cordyceps, what Olympic athletes use, and lion's mane, what Silicon Valley biohackers swear by. Sustained energy that doesn't spike and crash. We're talking smooth, clean power from morning to moonlight. Crystal clear focus without the jitters. Imagine closing the deal with calm, confident mind instead of the caffeine chaos. Gut health and immune support, because what's the point of building an empire if you're too sick to enjoy it? So here's the challenge to you. Stop borrowing energy from tomorrow. Stop running on fumes and call it a hustle. Stop wearing your caffeine addiction like a badge of honor. Real entrepreneurs optimize, real entrepreneurs adapt, real entrepreneurs win. You can't win if you're crashing at 2 p.m. while your competition is just getting started. Break the cycle. Head to risesuperfoods.com right now and use code PODNA15 for 50% off your first order. That's PODNA15 for 15% off. Try it for 30 days. If you don't feel the difference, if you don't feel sharper, calmer, more focused, more alive, then go back to your 6-a-day cup habit. But I'm telling you, you won't, because once you feel what real energy feels like, you'll never go back. Ditch the addiction, fuel your empire, and rise up. Rise Coffee, energy that builds, not burns.